stand by for action.
Thanks for joining me. My name is Dave Milner. I am the Unpleasant Blind Guy, and I want to welcome you to part 2 of this episode of the Unpleasant Blind Guy on EDL Radio. Now remember, if you want to contact me with comments, questions, show suggestions, Awesome American suggestions, I'm available at UBG Contact on Twitter, or I can also be found as Dave Milner or Agador, that's Aggedor, on Mublet, the Tea Party Community, Spreely, Minds, MeWe, or Gab. Now let's begin.
How poignant. How poignant, and what a fantastic thing to do. It's another way to raise money for the awareness of the Poppy Days and that. That's really, really good. Good to see that continues year in and year out, and that's what we should have. We should never forget the sacrifice of the young men and young women even that died during conflicts, and that's how we should always honour them. No matter how many years go by, 100, 200, we should always honour the people that give up. They've sacrificed their well-being to protect people like ourselves, Dave. It's pretty awesome, isn't it? You know, and the guys that done it, a big salute to you all. God bless you for that. That is what warms my heart with all the craziness that we talk about week in, week out. This brings you down to the ground with your feet firmly on the ground when you think, and it's time that you reflect of the sacrifice and what people do to repay their ways to raise, money for Poppy Days. That, what can you say, Dave? Not a lot I can say, really. I'm just, it's awesome, isn't it? It's awesome.
Well, Jeff, let me ask you something. I don't know how knowledgeable you are about this, but I'm going to put you on the spot a bit. Can you explain just a little bit about the charity, about the money being raised? Can you explain a little bit about that for our American listeners and for people from other countries, brother?
Well, they put their Poppy Pill. They've done it year in, year out, in different venues, different things. But it all goes to charities, or say, where, wounded veterans, this, that, and the other. But it all goes to a good cause, to those people that have been involved in. And I can't tell you everything, Dave, because it's true. I probably would need a broadsheet in front of me to go into more details. I'm just sadly, I haven't got anything in front of me. But it all goes, I know that personally, it goes, raises money for great charity things towards the poppies, the Poppy Appeal. That's all I can really say, Dave, because I would have looked it up. I'd like to, to have the facts in front of me, but take my word for it, ladies and gentlemen. You've only got to check it out yourself, look it up. You'll know that these people do great works for our veterans, and from everybody associated with any sort of conflicts, and that even people serving over in Afghanistan, and maybe a few people still in Iraq. There's, that's where money goes to help people that, the families, families that lost, brother, sister, whatever it might be. So that's what I want to say. I'm sorry, a little bit vague. I was put on the spot there, and I wish I'd have checked it out properly. My apologies. I do sound rather naive a little bit there, brother.
Well, you gave a generalized overview. if you would care to read this, I just got this off of the Poppy Appeal website, Dev. If you'd like to read that out for the people, they'll get a little bit better.
Nice. Once again, cheers, buddy. Yeah.
All right.
You're a great lad. Thank you, mate. Right. Just bear with me. I've got to thank my wingman. Do you hear that? The Poppy Appeal. Make a donation. This year is the Poppy Appeal is going undercover with the help of GCHQ in their centenary year to highlight the unseen contributions of our armed forces. Undercover services have accepted a mission to join forces with poppy collectors across the UK. Teaming up with some of our 40,000 Poppy Appeal volunteers, they are helping us shine a light on their efforts and invaluable contributions being made by the armed forces community. Who will get yours from? Every Poppy Appeal collector has a unique story to tell, so please look out for your local collectors, make a donation, and wear your poppy with pride.
There you are, Jeff.
It's my poppy recyclable. All of the parts of poppies can be recycled. After Armistice Day, you can recycle your poppy at any Sainsbury's supermarket. There are also a variety of enamel poppy pins that can wear instead of a paper poppy. And we have a range of alternatives available from our poppy shop. You can then choose to make a donation to the appeal every year. We are committed to reducing the impact of our poppies have on the environment and are working to remove all single-use plastic in the future. And it tells you, there's different stories, haven't you, if you want to read out the stories. I'll just read one. I'll read one.
Go ahead,
and it tells you different people's stories. And I'm just going to read one story. Maisie's story. Right, this is a young lady. Maisie is selling cakes and poppies outside her school to raise money after we helped support her dad, Dwayne, who left the army earlier this year. I'll go into more about this. I'm going to look to see a little bit more about this. Maisie's 9 years old, guys. Maisie's 9 years old. This is, I think, about her father. After a 30-year career, Dwayne was medically discharged from the Army in 2018. Struggling with his injuries, we stepped in to support him and his family. When I came out of the Army, it was tough, says Dwayne. I'd known nothing else for 3 decades. Then things started to go wrong with my injuries. But a lady from the Legion came to the house, got everything sorted, and put me back on track. When you keep jumping out of helicopters, it takes its toll on your knees, and I'm deaf in one ear from one particular blast. But I've managed to get myself a part-time job, and things are really looking up now. There's other stories very similar like that. Ladies and gentlemen, that goes to the Legion helps these ex-servicemen or veterans to deal with civil life, and some of them have had injuries, etc. You know, jumping out of helicopters didn't help you and blast your ear, deafening you. But it's good to see that Dwayne's got his life back together with the help of the British Legion. God bless you guys for the great work that you do. I know a friend of mine many years ago, Dave, who was helped through the British Legion. I won't put no name out, but he was suffering. He had all sorts of issues. He had drink issues, Dave, you know, and they managed to sort him out, got him a little place and got his things sorted out. And last I heard, he was doing quite well. He's got a job, this, that and the other. So it goes to show you, Dave, the British Legion does a great job. And all the money goes to help people like, I'm just going to say his name's Steve. And if he's out there, just let him up and listen to the show. I hope you're doing well, brother. I've seen him for a number of years.
Yeah.
He's keeping well. Anyway, Dave, back to you, brother.
Yeah, God bless you, Steve. And I just want to say to the people, if you want to read more about this, this is available at https://get-involved/get-give/poppy-appeal. And Jeff, as I said, man, you gave a generalized explanation of what the poppy appeal is all about, and we just fleshed it out a little bit for the people. So well done on that, man. And we'll get on. We'll get on with our next story
about a father. That was.
It was nice, man. It was great
story
stuff
for our listeners to know exactly where the money from the poppy appeals go towards. And I'd say the British Legion is one of the the great peoples out there. I know when my uncle was in the army, and when he passed away, God bless him, God rest him, should I say, it was the British Legion. When his funeral was heading towards the 70th, I'll never forget the British Legion was there, and as the hearse was passing, I think they put the flag, as he's passing, they put the flags down. They was raised, and they put the flags down as some respect. I never forget that, Dave. Yeah. I never forget that was the British Legion for you, buddy. My uncle always say he was in the army for a number of years, and he told me different stories. But I'll never forget that what the British Legion done. I didn't know that they did that, but a big respect to them all out there that works on behalf of the British Legion. There you go, Dave. That's my own, my own personal.
Well, you know what, Jeff? I mean, we can't forget these charities. And there's, over here in the United States, we've got Unforgotten Heroes. That's a great charity that happens to be run by a friend of mine. It's a lady that just goes out and helps these veterans out with whatever they need. If they're struggling, they're having a little trouble with rent and things like that, she'll help them out. If they're in a situation and they can't afford groceries for the week or the month, she'll help them out that way, and things of that nature. It's very personalized to the veterans. Then of course there are the bigger ones over here, like the Disabled American Veterans, and we have the American Legion over here as well. And yeah, Jeff, they engage in funeral rites for some of these veterans, and it's really very cool stuff. And anybody out there that wants to honor these veterans can contribute to any one of those, and your money won't be wasted. I can guarantee you that. Jeff read only one story off that Poppy Appeal website.
Many of them, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Something I want to say. I think it's the American Veterans Association, something like that. But a gentleman and his, or I think it's for people, widows of husbands that's died in conflict, giving them a home and helping them out, helping the family out, and continue to help them, and giving them out of the blue, we need you to come with us. And the wife of whose husband had died on the battlefield on whatever day, she goes, okay, and they take her to, and they go, right, this is your new home. And man, when I see that, I always shed a tear. How much love and respect these people have for the widows and the children. Let's not forget the children, Dave. I've seen a few stories like that, and see, that's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. This time of the year, this is the memories that we've got of people that can't be with us because they, sadly, they, succumbed in a battle or something like that. But we must never forget that there are families. There are always families of people, of our veterans. And you've got to think of the wife and the kids. Always. Am I right, Dave? I love that. I love that, what you guys do, Dave, over there. Fantastic, man.
Oh yeah, well, we owe them, and we all understand that. It doesn't matter whether it's in the UK or in the States. We owe our veterans, and we do. And we're going to go to now, Jeff, to the next story here that we have. This one's off the Daily Mail, and it was put out yesterday, updated yesterday. This one, I think there's some understandings here, and it happens to be, let's get the byline here, by Emily Weber for the Mail Online. The headline on it is Civilians Will Be Banned from Marching Past the Cenotaph, and there's a picture of the cenotaph, by the way, in our slides, guys, during London's Remembrance Sunday parade to give priority to veterans and their families. That's the headline, and there are 4 bullet points here. We'll begin with the first one. Civilians have been banned by Royal British Legion from marching in the parade. The second one. The decision has caused, quote, hurt and dismay, end quote, among charities and associations. The third bullet point. On Sunday, around 10,000 people will march past the cenotaph on Whitehall. And again, this has already happened, guys. And the final bullet point. Legion spokesman says physical limitations of parade restrictions, number of attendees, end quotes. All right, and we're going to begin reading this story. Civilians have been banned for the first time from marching past the cenotaph during London's Remembrance Sunday parade. The move was made by the Royal British Legion to give priority to military veterans or bereaved family members, according to the Telegraph. All right. However, the decision has caused, quote, hurt and dismay, end quote, among charities and associations such as the British Red Cross, who have previously taken part in the march, insiders revealed last night. Yet the Legion, which organizes the commemoration, insisted that the decision had not been taken lightly. On Sunday, around 10,000 people will march past the cenotaph on Whitehall for the National Service of Remembrance. In previous years, associations including the Blue Cross, RNLI, and British Red Cross had been part of the parade due to the contributions to the war effort. The Royal British Legion sent out an unexpected message to the associations warning that civilians, volunteers, with no connection to the armed forces would not be able to take part in the march. Many organizations have searched for members with family backgrounds to meet the criteria, which has proved a difficult task. A Girl Guiding spokesman said that for the first time we can remember, there would be no Girl Guides in the parade, and volunteers from St. John Ambulance have marched past the cenotaph for nearly a century, but can no longer take part without a military connection. One long-serving volunteer, who wished to remain anonymous, said the Royal British Legion had, quote, forgotten, end quote, that many charities lost members during the wars. They added, it seems ridiculous that we're having to search around for people with military backgrounds to fit the new rules. I'm going to scroll down just a touch here, guys. But all that seems to have been forgotten. The Royal British Legion doesn't seem to care, unfortunately. The decision comes after a number of rows in recent years over who should be invited to remembrance commemorations. Senior veterans in 2016 expressed anger after family members were excluded from the parade following heightened security. Following this, the Legion decided to review the, quote, credibility, end quote, of associations in the march. The Legion has decided this year that the Red Poppy will also pay tribute to, quote, civilian victims of war, end quote. The Royal British Legion's Assistant Director of Commemorative Events, Bob Gamble, OBE, said the decision to reduce the size of the civilian contingent at the march past the cenotaph was not taken lightly and was a matter of necessity. The physical limitations of the parade restricts the number of attendees to no more than 10,000, and the Legion receives requests to attend far in excess of this number. Mr. Gamble added, the purpose of the parade is to provide veterans the opportunity in the march and provide them with the fullest opportunity to attend. And Jeff, that is the end of that one, and your thoughts, sir?
Well, you know what, Dave? I listened to that, and I think maybe they need to prioritise, but at the same time, I can understand there's a lot of people that's been marching along have been stopped. I think they're just trying to prioritise for veterans and more closely associated. But it does seem, you know, I can understand the upset there. I don't know how you feel about it, Dave, but I can understand that. If you've been marching and you're just proud to do it, you know, to respect our veterans, and then being said, no, you can't take part now because you're civilians and that, after all them years, I think I'd feel a little bit of, well, no, not so much a resentment, but upset and hurt. I think I can understand that sentiment, Dave, quite understand. But at the same time, you know, the British Legion, they decided this year they need to prioritise. And what can I say? Everybody could be affected by this, with what they've done. And I think they knew that they would stir up a bit of a storm, but, you know, I don't really know what to say about this story, Dave, to be honest with you. It's a hard one for me. It's a hard one.
It is. It is.
Your views.
Yeah.
It is. I don't know what to say. I don't
brother.
want to condemn anybody. I mean,
no.
You know, and I feel the upset with people that has been doing it for many years, have been stopped from doing that, paying respects. Yeah, that is. I feel hurt, Dave. I say, no, sorry, you can't do it. You know, you're a civilian. I'd feel really hurt. You know, I want to pay my respects, and you're telling me I can't. I understand that. But at the same time, they got their reasons. So I don't want to question their reasoning. But in the end, it's down to them, isn't it, Dave?
Well, it is, Jeff. And listen, if you'd like to call in or call back in, it's that time past a little bit.
Oh, cheers, mate.
If you'd like,
I just realised.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, Jeff,
I'll be right back. Go on, buddy. You carry on.
All right, brother. Yeah. As Jeff calls back in, I'll share my feelings about it. You know, even though there might be some that say, "Well, you're an American. How can you have a feeling about it?" Well, first thing I think about is that yes, there are, as people who are in the EDL or other patriotic groups understand, there are always limitations to public demonstrations, even patriotic ones, that the police impose and things of that nature. And this, well, part of this is to just stop there being just plain anarchy, and the other part of it is to keep things more or less organized. And of course, as EDL members and supporters know, it's often to try and influence the demonstration. But the rules are there that the government imposes. And I guess after reading that story, I can see both sides. I can certainly understand the hurt and disappointment that that people from some of the organizations had, because of course they want to support their veterans and things of that nature, but I can also see the side that the Legion has, because they want to make sure that all of those who served and serve get a chance to pay their respects as well, and their families. And Jeff just talked about how this stuff impacts families, and I think that's important. So this is one of those stories that I don't think either Jeff or myself can come down on yay or nay. I don't think either one of us are capable right now of saying who's quote unquote right on this one. I think it just simply is, Jeff. And welcome back to you, man. Hey, do you think I'm pretty well close to the mark there, Jeff? Okay, well, Jeff may be having an issue here, guys. So I'm going to continue on. And, Jeff, you can come back in when you're ready, my friend. But, as I said, I think that there isn't a good guy or a bad guy in this.
No apologies,
I think it's just something
Dave, I've just got back from the little boy's room. Or the bathroom. Let's go to the bathroom. People might look at that. Bit more distracted. I mean, the bathroom, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Dave. Just
breath. I hope everything came out all right, Jeff. Little quick dash. Yeah, well, these shows last 90 minutes, guys, and sometimes we have to take the opportunities where we can, especially if we don't have any audios or anything like that. We will have a special one at the end of the show, but that's going to be at the end of the show. And Jeff, so do you think I spoke right when I said that really there's not a good guy or a bad guy in this story? We can both understand both sides, and it's one of those things that simply what is. Was that pretty close to that mark for you, man?
I mean, it's hard to come down against anybody involved. I mean, I really do feel for say the Red Cross and other organisations who have been, marching down the Cenotaph for many years, and been told you can't do it. I would feel quite upset, and maybe, that's the way. But at the same time, I can't come down heavy against the British Legion, who does awesome work. So what can you say, Dave? You don't want to come down yay or nay against any of them, but I do. My thoughts with them all on this situation. It's sad that they decided to do that. Maybe they should have been told or something like that. But just to
it's a complicated issue.
I mean, it's a shock as well, isn't it? To a lot of the organisations. Go ahead, bruv.
Yeah, well, absolutely, Jeff. Yeah, and I think you're right. I think maybe if they were going to make this decision, maybe about 6 months ago, they should have gone into talks with them and just told them, look, guys, we have to prioritize this way. It's not against you. It's for more for the veteran. But again, this is one of those things where it's a complicated issue, and there aren't any bad guys here. It's just one of those things that simply is. Now,
and that is it for this time. Next time, part 3. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for listening, and may your God go with you. Goodbye.
The Unpleasant Blind Guy is copyright 2019. Anno Domini. Now for Dave's Canes. Extras that help you navigate the new media world.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
From a public locker inside a dilapidated Long Island rail station comes a show designed to piss off liberals using truth, facts, and ridicule. The Lid Radio Show, featuring the conservative voice from the People's Republic of New York, the Lid himself, Jeff Dunitz. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com. At Lid Radio, we fight for the truth, justice, and a good kosher T-bone. If you don't listen, Hillary Clinton might sneak into your bedroom in her housecoat late at night and blame you for her election loss. It's the Lid Radio Show with Jeff Dunitz.
It's your business diva here, Melanie Collette. I am inviting you to a front row seat as I discuss some of the most intriguing details of wealth and finance with today's movers and shakers in the world of business. Listen in and discover financial truths on a global, domestic, and household scale. Uncover topics that will impact your wallet today and in the future. Money Talk with Melanie airs Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. East, 2 p.m. West, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio. You can't afford to miss it.
The new show on the SHR Media Network, Sackheads Against Tyranny. On shrmedia.com. Go there quick like a bunny, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, every Wednesday. Live and direct on the SHR Media Network. shrmedia.com. Be there.
Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, a mere 2 miles from the state capital, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon Radio Show can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern, only on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com to listen. You can also watch on the SHR Media Facebook page and the SHR Media YouTube channel. No goldfish were abused in the making of this ad.
Hey girls, Carry Girl Gear is here. More and more women every day are concealed carrying, participating in competitive shooting, and getting firearms training. It's not a boys club anymore, and we don't have to shop in their stores anymore either. Finally, a cool and unique clothing line just for women. Dope tees and hats for the patriotic concealed carry and 2A girl. So what are you waiting for? Go check out carrygirlgear.com today.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.